Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Raw Cloud. In the previous video I uploaded earlier, the sound was off. It was a little bit too low, so I'm going to try again. Well, let's begin. I talked about the dog man and how when I was 11 or 12 years old, I astral traveled through this portal to their world. I left Earth and I went through a portal to Sirius B. Uh, when I was young, I didn't know about this star. Um, so as I'm in their world, and it's similar to Earth, they had houses almost like how Earth, and the atmosphere was a little bit off, not quite like Earth. It was a little bit dim. I don't know if it was from their sun or just the timing of the day. But anyway, as I'm flying over, there's werewolves. I wouldn't consider them being dog men. They had no human genetics whatsoever. They didn't have the capability from to transform from human to werewolf. So I consider them just pure werewolves from Sirius B. So as I'm flying over, I'm seeing this home, and I fly over to this home, and as they're chasing me, I go inside this home, and I go up the stairs, and the werewolves. There was one particular werewolf that was extremely close to capturing me while I was there. I did see this window, and I flew out of it, and it was moments where he could have grabbed my ankle and just pulled me back in, but I managed to get out the window. Now, we all know when you're in your astral form, you're pretty much in your spirit body. Um, Now, if we were here on Earth in our spirit form, and normally humans that are up in the daytime, they could not perceive you. It's almost just like a remote view, but when you're traveling in the spirit body, it's way better than remote viewing. Um, so, and we all know that our animals here have the capability of seeing into other realms, seeing other things that the human eyes just cannot perceive. Dogs, cats, they all have this vision. Even horses can see entities that the human eyes just can't see. And so I'm there in their world, and they're probably thinking that I'm some type of an intruder. Um, I'm pretty sure they know about humans as well. Just like back in the Egypt days, there was you know hieroglyphs of bird-like beings with humanoid bodies, dogs, um, even alligators, all kinds of things of that nature back in our history. Um, so that was my first encounter with werewolves. And I want to talk about um, something that you guys probably do not know of, and that was when Hitler was around. Okay, we all know that Hitler was psychotic, also working with the Dracos, reptilians. Um, he had formed an alliance with them, so he had a lot of things going on. But for the most part, as long as Hitler was creating war, chaos, and famine, the Dracos, the reptilians, they let him do what he wanted. But Hitler had his hands and a whole bunch of things. He had scientists from all around the world that he either kidnapped, forced to work with him. Hitler wanted soldiers that could not die. Some soldiers that could take bullets and keep going. He wanted what we call today super soldiers. And some of you that come to this channel may know about the super soldiers, and later I'll talk about some of those as well. But in those early days of Hitler, he had scientists come up with formulas um, that could reanimate the corpse. And it took him some time his scientists time to develop this type of formula. Now, like I said, you won't find this in our history books. You won't find this in any type of archives for the public. But there are some alphabet letter agencies that have that in their hidden away archives of this zombie apocalypse timeline that Hitler created. Now, Hitler didn't initially wanted a apocalypse of that magnitude. He only wanted to create soldiers that could not die, super soldiers. But there was a breakout of this chemical that reanimated the corpse. Now, Hitler thought that if he could reanimate these dead bodies, that he can get them to work under his regime. That didn't happen. He created a timeline where the human population was infected. And it took both sides of the negative extraterrestrials and the positive extraterrestrials to come together to recreate a timeline where this didn't happen. So when you are of the negative force and you see humans as a resource, you see humans as a slave force, and you see humans as working for the Dark Fleet. You don't want something of that nature to happen to the human genetics. It just ruins the whole population. It ruins everything. So what they did, they went back in time and just think of like this. I think the best way for me to explain these timelines of how they manipulated it to where humanity could continue on, and think of a movie and you have this film in front of you and you just wanted to edit it. So what they did, they took and clipped and took out the bad part that they didn't want, this Hitler part, this apocalypse, and just moved it and then merged these timelines back together. Now, once something is out, once something occurred, it cannot unoccur. You can manipulate it. You can go back and change subtle things about it. But you cannot undo it. So, for the longest time, I was going to this world as a kid, this zombie apocalypse world. And when you're a kid, you only just sum it up as maybe you watched a movie and you ended up there. It was a dream. No, it happened. And sometimes their world, these zombies can bleed over to our reality. And you may hear about this, they may cover it up, but I'm pretty sure you heard about zombies here in our timeline. It's because they bleed over sometimes to our existence in the now. And sometimes when we sleep, we bleed over to theirs. So for the longest time, even as a spiritual warrior, um, I would end up over there. And as I got older, I just didn't understand why I kept going there. I mean, I could do absolutely nothing. It wasn't that I didn't want to help the people that was still there, because there are people still there in that timeline. Unfortunately, they're stuck there, and nothing can be done about it. Um, we can't pull them from that timeline to here. And I spoke to the council about this timeline, and I asked them. I said, "Well, why didn't you guys just decide to take out the zombies? Just take them out?" And they said, at that time, that virus was so worldwide, they would have had to eliminate um, more than half of the human population. It would have been more than half of the human population, and that was not going to be accepted. So the best thing that they could do from both sides, the negative side and the positive side, is to manipulate the timeline and just clip that part off and let it just be sitting out here. So for you guys that may end up dreaming of this place, um, it's not a dream. I mean, you actually in that timeline, um, and like I said, it's unfortunately that that timeline did occur, and it was under the Hitler leadership that he wanted these soldiers that could take bullets. He wanted a super soldier, and they just wasn't ready. Um, they was tampering with things. They was tampering with dark forces that they had no business messing with. And yeah, so I also spoke with the the council, and I also spoke into the universe, because um, I didn't want to keep going there. It was pointless to keep going to a timeline where you just can't help anybody. So that was the last time I ended up going to this zombie world that Hitler created at that time. So that was just something I want to throw out there into this video. I do want to talk about in the next video how these mercenaries tried to capture me, and I'll upload that in the next video. Now this right here is going to be very interesting, um, so stay tuned for that one. But before that, I actually got another one that's coming out, and that will be an actual dog man mission with the military. Um, so I'll do another Dogman video with the military. I'll talk about that one, and then after that one, I'll talk about the mercenaries that tried to capture me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can actually hear this video this time. I'll check it out before I upload it. And once again, I love, honor, and respect you. Thank you for watching this video, and have a great day.